Now what exactly is materiality? Materiality means something which may or may not have a great effect on the business, or something that should be disclosed in financial statement or should be totally avoided. That means not to be disclosed in financial statement. So let us understand the term materiality like on happening of a particular event or a transaction, if it has got a greater impact on the business or a huge impact on the business, then that particular event or a transaction will be termed as material and will have a special importance in the financial statements. But if on a happening of a particular event or transaction, if it does not affect the business in a huge way, alright, it won't be considered to be material and it won't find a place in statement of financial position. Let me just put it in very simple words. What is materiality? In business, on happening of an event or a transaction, if the business has a great impact or great effect, then that particular event or transaction will be material, and if it does not have a great impact or effect on the business, then it won't be termed as material. So now let us take two examples. Let us say I am having an office setup. In my office, I install an air condition, and at the same time I also purchase dustbin to throw the dust and the waste, that is. Now let us say 5 years down the line, I am having air condition which is working fine, and I am also having dustbin which is working fine. Now out of the two, if I tell you to select which is more important for the business, I am sure you will give me the answer as air condition is more important. Why does air condition seem to be more important to you? The reason is, you will say, because it is expensive. I would say it is not because it is expensive, but rather it is material. Why so? Because see, in an office setup, if suppose my air condition does not work properly, my next work or the day-to-day business activity or the smooth flow of the work will stop. We will feel uncomfortable. I won't be able to work properly. My staff won't be able to work properly, etc., etc. So air condition is necessary for the type of business that I am conducting, that is in office. Let us say if the dustbin gets destroyed, then it does not have, or dustbin becomes rather damaged. It does not have great impact on my business, because I would wait and I would rather buy a new dustbin. But if the air condition gets damaged or there is some problem with my air condition, I would rather get it repaired immediately. So out of the two, it is not because of the expense, it is because of the impact that it is having on my business. Now let us take another example which will be completely reverse of this particular example. So in another example, let us say I am having a business of waste management. So what I do is I segregate the waste and I earn money from it. Alright, so what will be my setup or the business setup look like? I will be having thousands of dustbins and a very small office. There will be an air condition installed in my office, and there will be thousands of dustbin which is necessary for my business. Now one fine day my air condition stopped working. I will not be bothered by it. But on one fine day, let us say 10 dustbin got destroyed. What will happen is I will try to replace those 10 dustbin immediately. Why? Not because they are cheap, because they are going to impact my business of waste management deeply, because the dustbins are necessary for the nature of the business that I am conducting. So here in this situation, the amount of dustbin or the cost of the dustbin would rather be termed as material. Now if my air condition, in the business of waste management, if my air condition is not functioning properly, and if a person is not immediately available to repair it, alright, then I would rather wait for 2 more days. Let the person come, let the air condition get repaired, and I will then continue in my office, because I am not so much bothered about the functioning of my air conditioning as I am bothered about the dustbin which I require to conduct my business smoothly. So what particular concept of materiality teaches me that as and when, or rather on the nature of the business, a particular event will depend and will be called as material. It is a subjective judgment. It is a very subjective thing. That means something which may be very important for my business may not be equally important for another's business. And likewise, if something is very important for somebody else's business, it may not be that important or impactful on my business. So the term materiality is a very subjective term and it changes from business to business. Similarly, to conclude, things like calculators or some notebooks etc. will directly be recorded as an expense in the particular year in which it has been purchased, and it will be taken as 100% depreciated. Why so? Even though I may be using calculator for next 3 or 4 or 5 years without any problem, but why I don't consider it to be my fixed asset? Because for a very simple reason, if the calculator gets damaged, I can easily replace it. It is not going to have a deep impact on my business. But let us say, instead of calculator, I am having a laptop or a personal computer which gets damaged. I will try to immediately fix the problem, because as per the nature of the business, I will be requiring the computer to be functioning smoothly. So here it totally depends upon a particular event or a thing or transaction to be called material or to be not called material. If it is material, you need to disclose it in your statement of financial position as well as statement of accounts. So this is what materiality is all about.